All right, the man who lost $204 million on a trip to
In
Vegas.
2007, 20% of Caesars Palace Casino revenue came from one single person, Terrence Watanabe.
Me.
Born 1957 in Omaha, Nebraska, Terrence began life as the son of Harry Watanabe, who founded one of the most successful carnival suppliers in American history, called the Oriental Trading Company. At the age of 15, Terrence began working for his father, and by the age of 20, Terrence had been given the role of CEO, after which he'd add an incredible amount to the business. By shifting the focus toward party products, Terrence was able to grow the business from 17 local stores to a company generating $25 million per month. The only problem was Terrence had spent most of his life doing so, and had therefore experienced almost nothing outside of work. The job was all-consuming, say former associates. He traveled for long stretches of time examining merchandise in Asia. He never married. His sister and others who know him say they don't believe he ever had a significant romantic relationship. This was his life, that company. It engulfed him. Having burnt out by the age of 43, Terrence
poor
put his share of
guy.
the company up for sale, eventually selling for an undisclosed amount in October 2000, after which the goal was to have a charitable and fun
In which he
retirement.
spent all of it at
His plan was to
Vegas.
throw himself into his philanthropic work and have more fun. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing, Mr. Watanabe told his hometown newspaper, the Omaha World Herald, in 2000. He then created the Terry K. Watanabe Charitable Trust before donating millions to AIDS and cancer research, as well as various political causes. However, having worked all day every day for over 20 years in a complex business, Terrence found little satisfaction in this new line of work.
How much money did he lose? 204 mil at Vegas.
Restless. Several business ideas, including opening a restaurant, went nowhere. He didn't know
Gambling.
what to do with his time, says his sister, and as the old saying goes, an idle mind is the devil's playground. With nothing else to do, Terry began a new hobby of spending large amounts of cash, purchasing one of Omaha's largest and most notable homes, which featured 9 bedrooms, 18 bathrooms, a gourmet kitchen, a custom wine cellar, and a 3-story elevator.
Jesus
But it was
Christ.
rather a venue near this mansion that became his biggest financial danger. Terry began to travel across the border from Omaha to Council Bluffs, Iowa, so he could gamble at the Caesars Horseshoe Casino, which is self-described on its website as a true gambler's paradise, featuring an expansive round-the-clock casino floor, an 18-table poker room, a full-service Caesars sportsbook, and one-of-a-kind gaming areas. Terrence became, quote, one of the casino's top customers and began devoting himself to gambling full-time as his primary income and livelihood source. However, with his level of disposable income, hosts at the Iowa casinos encouraged Mr. Watanabe to play at the Rio and other
Actual
casinos
genius.
in Las Vegas. Having struggled to launch any new businesses, Terrence began to frequent Las Vegas beginning in 2005, where his existing gambling habit was intensified and joined with a drinking habit satisfied only by a luxury vodka brand called Jewel of Russia.
That's a good combination.
$200 per bottle. In that very same year, billionaire Steve Wynn opened the luxury Wynn Las Vegas, and by 2006, 1 year later, Terrence had spent so much money at the venue that the two arranged to meet. Remarkably, Steve concluded that Terrence was a, quote, compulsive gambler and alcoholic, leading Steve to ban Terry from the casino. However, given this was no fix for Terry's addiction, this simply became an opportunity for other venues in the area. Terry decided to take his money over to Caesars Palace, where a marketing executive promised to give him substantially more advantageous arrangements than the Win with respect to player comps, rebates, and other incentives.
Don't they stop you from gambling if you've lost so much?
Incentives to keep Terry gambling at their venue.
I thought they did.
He was given tickets to the Rolling Stones, $12,500 a month for airfare, and $500,000 in credit at the gift stores. Harrah's also offered 15% cash back on table losses greater than $500,000, special high-limit games, and other incentives. Mr. Watanabe resided for free in a 3-bedroom suite at Caesars, had access to his favorite bartender, and was constantly surrounded by attendants to serve his
at these places they always say free, but it's not free because you've spent like a shit ton of money. Like you've lost a fuck ton of money. So it's not really free.
A 7-course meal from the casino's Bradley Ogden restaurant.
They can kick you out for winning too much.
Gambling, with these attendants later telling legendary stories
I've heard of that
about
too.
his behavior while gambling. Al DeLeon and Christian Kunda, 2 of Mr. Watanabe's personal handlers at Caesars, say he had thousands of Tiffany gift boxes filled with $50 gift cards or $100 gift coins that he would hand out to bartenders, nightclub operators, security guards, and others. They say he once told a security guard to go to a supermarket and buy every cut of steak, and then proceeded to hand them out to employees. Caesar's Palace high rollers of this magnitude are often given exclusive loyalty program status called 7-Star, where members are wowed by all the fantastic benefits afforded to them, with additional rewards and all-round bigger and better perks. Yet the casino then literally created a new tier above this called Chairman, of which only Terren Watanabe had the status of joining. Having been handed what you might call the ultimate life, Terry decided to stay in Vegas, yet with no intervention and nothing else to do, the severity of his habit began to get out of control. Several employees say Mr. Watanabe would stay at the tables for up to 24 hours, sometimes losing as much as $5 million in a single bid.
Jesus.
He was allowed to play 3 blackjack hands simultaneously, with a $50,000 limit for each hand, and if he won, Mr. Watanabe says he regularly handed out to Caesar's employees bundles of $100 bills that could total as much as $20,000.
Wait,
in the
why?
meantime, Terry was visited by a former casino host from his hometown who explained that Terry appeared disoriented and couldn't remember the conversations they'd had in the past. He'd add that Terry was often seen stumbling around the casino or falling asleep at tables placed right beside loud nightclub music, yet the most notable observation regarded the type of machines that Terry liked to play. According to one of his former assistants, Terrence rejected any skill-based casino game like poker and instead gravitated toward games with low odds, including roulette and slots. He was considered a house player because slots and roulette are house games. They have terrible odds for the player, and the way he played blackjack, he made it a house game. He made such bad decisions on the blackjack table, but it was only when his brother and sister came to visit for Thanksgiving 2007
I don't know really how to do any card games.
Just how much these bad choices had cost him. In the 11 months since the beginning of the year, Terren Watanabe had lost $127 million. Under the assumption that Terry had more money somewhere, the casino then gave him a $17 million loan, although this by itself should have been a sign that he was almost out of money. On the 23rd of January 2008, just weeks after telling family about his losses, Terrence put his Omaha mansion up
I don't
for
understand
sale
that.
while continuing to chase his losses in Vegas. He
Why
managed to sell the
do
home
people
for a price
do
of
this?
$2.66 million. However, at this point, it was already too late. Terren Watanabe was completely out of money. He'd wagered $4.2 million in 2005, $81 million in 2006, $825 million in 2007, and when his family brought him back to Omaha in early 2008, Terry had lost more than anybody else in Las Vegas history, with the 3-year trip costing him a total of $204 million. To make matters worse, Terrence had no job or income, yet still owed the casino $14.7 million, after which Terry put the blame back onto Caesars, stating that his losses were their fault. Mr. Watanabe alleges that during this period, Haraz not only didn't make him leave when he was drunk, but applied him with alcohol and prescription drugs to encourage him to stay and gamble, leading
that's
Terry
just
to launch
business.
a lawsuit against the casino. Court documents explain Caesars served Mr. Watanabe 2 to 3 750ml bottles of Jewel of Russia vodka.
Oh my God.
Every day. No Caesars employee ever limited or cut off Mr. Watanabe's drinking, despite the fact that he was almost always visibly severely intoxicated when he was being served while gambling. On at least one occasion at Caesars in 2007, a concerned companion of Mr. Watanabe, Stuart Mitchell, pulled aside his cocktail waitress and pled with her to water down Mr. Watanabe's drinks.
Do the employees get like some sort of
Responded,
commission?
Terry gets whatever he wants. Mr. Watanabe had at least 2 drinks at his table at all times, so that he could be kept in a constant state of intoxication while gambling. Mr. Watanabe's photographs were posted in the employees only section of the casino in order to ensure all employees recognized him and never refused him anything. Caesars employees never attempted to limit or cut off Mr. Watanabe's drinking or restrict his gambling because they understood that any interference with his drinking or gambling could cost them their jobs. In response to the lawsuit, a spokesperson for the casino stated, "We're in the gambling business. We had no reason to believe that Terry Watanabe was anything other than a big player with huge resources who made an adult decision to bet the money he did. Are we going to provide an environment that keeps him very happy? Of course we are." The casino then launched criminal proceedings against Terry, meaning that on top of everything, he was now facing up to 28 years in prison
Holy
for the
shit.
unpaid $14 million. An article was then published in the months that followed.
That's actually
announcing that
fucking
both
crazy.
Terry and the casino had each dropped their lawsuits. However, Terry's life never recovered afterwards.
My name is Terry Watanabe. I've been diagnosed with prostate cancer.
On the 29th of July 2017,
No way, did he die?
Terry announced that he had cancer, hoping to raise $100,000 on GoFundMe for treatment, with a description reading, "I've accepted my situation and do not pity myself. myself. But my hope is that you'll find it in your heart to forgive me for my past and help me live long enough to help others in the future. Attached was a video talking about how bad things have become.
I unfortunately don't have the funds to survive. I'm almost homeless. I
What a
have no medical
dumbass.
insurance.
Although despite this, he was unable to reach his goal, yet still managing to raise an impressive $20,000.
Why would anybody donate
In
to this
January
guy?
2020, Terry joined Twitter before stating, "Today I try to live a good life and be a good man. Despite my past flaws and mistakes, I've always sought to do good and help people. I hope I can still have a positive impact on those in the future by sharing my story, both highs and lows, funny and sad moments," showing that Terry quite impressively now took full responsibility for his own mistakes.
What a dumbass. Bro, I cannot imagine how stupid you'd have to be to gamble literally everything. That's crazy, bro.